Okay, some of these opinions are going to be really unpopular, and I'm just going to preface with that because I know 5 minutes into this, I'm going to piss some people off, and some of this stuff needs to be said, and if you examine your own thoughts fairly closely, I think some people will dial back a little bit of the hate going on right now. So I'm just going to go with a quick review of this game that I feel like is getting beat to death by the masses for undeserved reasons. Some of which are true, but most of which are completely overblown to the point that I am confused by the level of anger this game is getting, and the level of canceled pre-orders is like record-setting. Apparently, I don't know the exact numbers, but the amount of people returning and canceling pre-orders for this game is apparently on a record-setting level. And I just want to thank all of our friendly reviewers out there who have caused this for reasons that are completely overblown and for reasons that are, again, while somewhat accurate, are being taken completely out of context by people watching some of these reviews. So, arguably, I'm going to give an actual honest review of somebody that's played the game and has seen the impact on these instead of just looking at the numbers on the screen. So this is your main menu of this game. The game itself, I'm just going to go through some modes real quick and give you just a quick overview on what I think about it and what some of the problems are. So, campaign for this game. The campaign for this game is fun to play. I don't want to jump into a mission that's got spoilers, so just to, we'll leave that alone. There's gameplay videos out there. The campaign to this game, to avoid spoilers, it's a fun campaign. It feels good. It controls well. It's a fun campaign to play. The problem with the campaign is the ending. It ends abruptly. It is clearly a sequel or DLC fish, and it is not a good ending. The game itself is bait for that second setup. So if that makes a plot unplayable to you, I understand. This campaign is not for you. What is here, however, is a pretty cut and dry, kind of hero story. Normal redemption story, just like any other Star Wars plot line. People that are holding this up to like the movie plot lines, I would argue the movie plot lines aren't exactly groundbreaking either. Anyone who remembers high school English, the hero journey that they taught you about, didn't start with Star Wars, and it uses that formula to a T. And basically so does this. It's the redemption story of one main character. You get to play as a few different heroes for nostalgia's sake. The campaign is fun to play. There's a couple low points. There's a point where you're fighting bugs as a Jedi that's just incredibly lame. The fight is bad. It should have been an actual lightsaber duel or against another Jedi, but because those characters are set up for the multiplayer, you can't just have a dual sword fight without changing a mechanic. So it's lazy, but understandable. The campaign is still fun, even though the end of it is basically, hey, buy our DLC in a few months. It does still come to a conclusion point, so if you just need an ending and don't care, it's fine. So, campaign itself, if the question rather is it worth $60 if I just want the campaign? No, it is not. Not unless you're a huge Star Wars fan. But other than that, no. Alright, so the multiplayer. Galactic Assault is Galactic Assault. It's the mode everyone's looked at. It's the mode you see in all the trailers. If you've watched anyone play the game, this is probably what they're playing. This is the 20 on 20 massive fight mode, the objective mode. This is the war mode. This is what war mode in Call of Duty World War II should have been. It's giant objective maps with tons of people on them. They can be hectic, but they are proper fights. There's battle lines drawn, there's objectives that are clear. It's a fun mode to play. It's one of the best multiplayer modes I've played in a while. Anyone that likes Battlefield 1 for that same reason, where there's kind of clearly defined fights going on and not just people sprinting in circles, it's worth playing. A lot of modes, a lot of maps, all gorgeous, all fun. Starfighter Assault's just a dogfighter mode. The flight controls are smooth once you get the hang of them. Fun mode to play. Heroes and Villains is probably the weaker one in my opinion. Everyone basically plays the hero class. If you're playing with randos online and they don't stay grouped up, you're going to lose. End of story. The hero classes are fairly evenly balanced against each other. So if 4 of them stay together and 2 of you split off, you've already lost. The game's over at that point. If everyone stays together, it can be a bit more skill-based, but there are some moves that, if timed right, are a little iffy for just having heroes in the game. Strike is basically small. It's the version of like Call of Duty objective maps. Very small, smaller fights. Everyone tends to be running around. A lot of people with shotguns. Not my thing, but still a good mode. And Blast is the tiny little maps where everyone's running around with shotguns. That's all it is. Everyone's playing Vanguard. A couple people on officers trying to get snarky with turrets. Again, not my thing, but if you want that Twitch Call of Duty gameplay, it's there. Not what I'm looking for. I pretty much exclusively play Galactic Assault. Fun mode. And again, everyone's seen what that is. Arcade's just a little add-on, little mini games. I will hop into one of these because they have no story, just so I'm not ruining anything for anyone. But basically, there's a base objective. You get to pick a hero class. You hop in. There's a time limit or a score limit, something you have to do to pass. When you beat one, you unlock the next one and the next difficulty tier of the one you're playing. Just a little challenge mode. Nothing to sink your teeth into. It's nothing crazy. Just a little fun little distraction that helps you on credits. Now credits, now this is the thing I know, and I'll keep this up while I'm here. Credits and the loot boxes are the reason most people are canceling this game. The loot boxes are scummy. They're loot boxes. They all are. That's how it works. They're trying to get money. They're a company. That's how it works. I've used this analogy before, but when you go to the grocery store, do you ask for a manager to complain because there's a cooler of Coca-Cola at the front? Because that's the same thing. There's something shiny at the register trying to get you to impulse buy it. That's how sales work. That is what it is. And yeah, maybe they shouldn't be in our video games and taking advantage of people. I agree with that, and I kind of agree that they need to go down a more regulatory route like China has done with these. Fine. I completely agree with that. Just don't buy them. That's how you you protest with your wallet in these cases. If you don't buy them, they won't keep showing up with this much prevalence. Now, I say that, but these also have no impact on this game at all, in my opinion. People are saying the game's pay to win and it's unplayable on the multiplayer because the loot boxes exist. I 100% disagree with that. The star cards you get in the loot boxes do not have an impact on the gameplay. I have played quite a bit of multiplayer at this point. The cards do not break the game, even in the slightest. They add such minor bonuses, most of them. There are a couple that are stronger. Most of them are such minor benefits that you don't gain anything. A lot of people have been talking about the one for the assault class that everyone got free for the pre-order. It's the one I see the most complaints about, the thermal detonator card. Increases the radius of the thermal detonator by 1 unit. I have thrown them with and without and measured them in terms of blast radius for where you take damage. It is negligible. I'm not saying it's not there. It is there. It is not breaking the game. None of the star cards are breaking the game. And people are sitting here going, I lost that game because he had a purple version of the star card and I did not, are out of their goddamn minds. They are looking at the cards and freaking out without doing any type of verification and without looking at what the cards in the system are actually doing. And I keep hearing the same fucking stupid sentence over and over about it's ruining the progression of the game. You can't, there's no progression in this game because it's broken. The cards completely break the progression of the multiplayer. Okay, let's look at something real quick. There is no progression to this multiplayer. I don't want to be in the queue anymore. That was an accident. These levels you see on your classes are not levels. You are not leveling up a character like it's a fucking RPG. You're not gaining, a level 2 spell because you hit level 10. That's not what those are. It's an arbitrary system for the star cards. I agree, and the system is stupid, but my character is not stronger because I'm level 9 because I got a pre-order purple card. He's not doing more damage. He doesn't have more health. That's not what these levels are. He purely has a higher card level. And you can craft all the cards as you craft more with the parts that, yes, they could be fairly more generous without the boxes, but are still enough to progress. You can unlock everything if you wanted to play the game enough. If you want to unlock everything in 5 hours, it's not going to happen. How many games do you get 100% completion in 5 hours? And when they release a game that takes 5 hours to 100% everything, everyone loses their goddamn minds. The game's only 5 hours long. It's not worth my money. And yeah. You're all whiny bitches. Make up your minds. The game takes time to unlock everything. Agreed. I don't want to unlock everything. I, like most people, have a main class that I'm using. It's the specialist. Hence the reason I have the second sniper rifle unlocked. I have enough kills for the second sniper rifle. I didn't have to spend money. I didn't unlock any loot boxes. I played the goddamn multiplayer. And I don't even have a third card unlocked because I don't care enough to unlock a third card. And here's my fancy purple trip mine that has a quicker cooldown. Okay? No more damage. I can throw a second one. You know how big these maps are? You know how useful these trip mines are? 0. You know how many kills I've gotten with these trip mines? 0. You see, I don't even have it equipped. I'm using the one that makes me not show up on scanners when I'm shooting, and I'm using the thermal binoculars that make me see people through walls. Which, these are bullshit. And when I first read this effect, why I bought this card, or why I used parts on this card, no of my money was spent on EA's stupid system, I used parts to unlock this because I thought I could mark people, and I thought that would be super broken, so I decided to test it out. There's a cooldown. You can mark one person, and then it's got like a 15-second cooldown timer. And as a matter of fact, let me look at it, I think the upgrade is what affects the cooldown. Oh no, it just makes me spot them longer. They don't take more damage. It just shows a teammate where somebody is. So if an enemy hero is coming to fuck shit up, I can pull these out, mark an enemy, and for 9 seconds my team can see where they are. Not groundbreaking. If we all had headsets on, which this game doesn't encourage at all, we'd be able to say, hey, Luke Skywalker's back here about to cut our stupid Imperial heads off. And people would be able to react. Now I'm using a card on it. Great. The binoculars are default. All this does is let me tag one person every 30 seconds. Nothing broken. And you can buy this with the parts for level 1. That's how I got it. And okay, 3 more seconds on the tag for the purple. Oh no, somebody paid to win and got the purple one out of a loot box. He's going to stay red for 3 more seconds. Yes, useful, not game breaking. The multiplayer is completely playable. And I've watched so many people going, this game's awful, the campaign's unplayable, you can't play the multiplayer, everyone's cheating, you know, nothing works correctly, the game is smooth as butter, it looks gorgeous, it's got a scummy loot box system. Congratulations, end of story. It does not take away from every other aspect of the game. The one con I will 100% agree with is the content. There are not enough things in this game. It's 4 weapons a class. That is horseshit, EA. This should be a full progression system. There is not enough unique weapons in the game, and all these guns feel the same anyway. The sniper rifles just fire at different rates and do less damage. This one fires quicker, a little bit less damage. These two feel damn near identical, except I get more shots out of this one, so I equip this one. They both kill in 2 headshots. And this one fires slower. Why would I bother? It's got a higher range on this by 1 pip. I don't even know what that means. It's pointless. Give us more guns or more classes. If there were 8 classes with 4 guns apiece, I'd shut up. There's 4 classes, 4 guns apiece, and the guns don't even feel different. Give us a healer or some shit. Add some more classes. The variety was lazy. But then, okay, again, let me backtrack that even a little bit. I agree that was lazy, it's not enough stuff, but what are we comparing it to right now? Other Battlefield games in the past that were better. Yes, okay. What else do we compare it to modern? Let's go other main shooter that just came out. World War II, which I've played a ton of. Call of Duty World War II. That game has less guns than any Call of Duty's ever had, it feels like. There's just as few guns in that game as there's been in a while. The customization sucks. The loot boxes in that just have pistol grips in them. Oh, but you can't spend your own money to unlock them. They still suck. Those loot boxes have the worst rewards ever. The system is so stupid. And from what it looks like, there's a third currency showing up on the screens for people right now that doesn't seem to make any sense unless it's some kind of prestige token that looks like at some point they're going to let us start paying money to unlock that crap, which that stuff is crap. Don't spend your money. But, okay, loot box ran over. That's gone on too long anyway. Final verdict for the game, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10, with 10 being best legendary game of all time, and 0 being crap that shouldn't have been made, that they should have to pay you to play. 5 is an average game that'd be okay to take off the shelf at a sale, something like that. 6 is what I'm going to give this game as a, is it worth $60 off the shelf in its current condition? If you want to play everything, I say yes. If you want to play the multiplayer, single player, the whole package is worth $60. You get $60 worth of time and quality out of this. If you just want the campaign, wait for a sale. If you just want the multiplayer, that's up to you if you like this kind of game. These are big war fights. These are not little close quarters SMG sprinting Twitch shooters. That's not what this game has ever been. So if that's what you want, it's not worth it. If you like a big war scenario like this where there's a potential moment where, in theory, 20 people could shoot you at the same time, then yes, it's worth playing. I'm having fun with it. I'm going to keep playing it. I don't want a refund. I don't think anyone at EA should be hung from the rafters the way everybody else does. It's a good game with some scummy business practices on it. Does that make the game unplayable? If you want to preach with your wallet by not buying the game for that, that's fine. But then that's when we go 10 years without a decent Star Wars game. And is this a good Star Wars game? Yes, it is. Is it a good business practice? No, it's not. On that note, everybody have a good night. Buy the damn game, play it with me.